Let's talk for a second about what a home inspection is here in New Jersey. So here in New Jersey, a home inspection is a top to bottom inspection of the house that you are buying, but with a focus on something called material defects. Now, a material defect here in New Jersey is a defect or problem or issue found in a home that affects either the habitability of the house, the safety of the home, or the value of the house. So that's really the crux of what a home inspection does, is it's to give the buyer the information that they need to make good decisions regarding these material defects. Are there any big problems in the home? Because these material defects, they tend to be the larger issues that we find in homes. But, and this is a big but, I think it's the home inspector's responsibility to tell the buyer everything that he or she knows about the house. And I take that responsibility very highly. I want to educate my buyer, and there's many home inspectors that share my same philosophy, who are going to go above and beyond just looking for those larger items. Because let's face it, if you're buying a house with 20 different smaller issues, those issues are going to add up to big dollars, and those issues together can really affect the home. Your ability to live in the home, your ability to repair the home, and of course, your budget. So I think it's up to home inspectors here in New Jersey to really educate their clients even about the small things. Now, I've read home inspection reports, and there's a ton of home inspectors that just do that material defect reporting. And yes, that's important, but I think it's important to tell your client about everything that you can. If you're educated in homes and you have tons of experience and you know about these problems, let's share that with our clients, okay? Let's try to elevate this profession and be proud of this profession and do a great job for our clients. So, I want to elevate the profession in New Jersey and not just be mediocre, right? Anybody can just be mediocre at what they do. But let's try to take it a step above and tell our clients about all the issues in the home. Why wouldn't you do that? I've read so many home inspection reports that just are complete trash and garbage because they just focus on just the larger issues. And even then, those larger issues aren't spelled out in plain English so your client understands, what's going on. So let's try to elevate our game, man. That's what I'm trying to do for myself, and that's my call out to other home inspectors in New Jersey. Let's try to elevate the game and be as effective and great to our clients as we possibly can. One of the things that really bothers me about the home inspection profession is that the better you get at your job, the more experience you get, the more thorough you get, the more comprehensive your understanding of problems in homes is, the less business you get from the real estate community. And now there's a lot of people who are going to disagree with me on that, but I live this every day. You can disagree if you want, but it's the absolute truth. So why is that? Why is this profession, the better you are at your job, the more thorough, the comprehensive, the more time that you take, the more care that you take in educating your client and finding problems in houses that they're buying, why do you get less business from the real estate community? That's a question I've often wondered, is why do soft home inspectors get the referral business from realtors, agents, brokers, mortgage people, attorneys? Why isn't the best in the business? Why don't we get the referrals from those people? Why are they looking to hire soft home inspectors? And that's just a question that that I'm pondering. It is a great frustration of mine here, because in other professions it's not really the case. So if you're an excellent doctor, right, you're great at what you do, you're going to get referrals and you're going to get more business. If you're a great plumbing contractor or electrician or somebody who is really good at their job, you're going to get more outside referrals. But what I found is the better you are at your job in home inspection, the more on your own you are in getting clients. So I've been an independent home inspector here, and I am very happy that I chose that route. And what that means is basically that my business comes from several sources, word of mouth, people referring me to family and friends, and people find me online. So I'm not worried about getting referrals from the real estate people here in New Jersey, but it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth because people tell you that you're good at your job, you do a really solid job for your client, and they refer you. So we are doing the right thing. We are doing the right thing. But doing the right thing, it costs you some business, and it shouldn't be that way. And I understand there's going to be a lot of agents and people here who are, going to disagree with me, but prove me wrong. Let's go, prove me wrong, and hire the best home inspectors out there instead of hiring soft home inspectors. And let's elevate our game. Let's be the best that we can be, both agents, brokers, attorneys, mortgage people. Let's hire the best home inspectors, right? Let the cream go to the top, and then, let the chips fall where they may. Why hire the soft home inspector who's only been around for 3 or 4 years, and who plays word games, and is just going to kind of tiptoe around and not really find anything wrong. Maybe this is wrong, but it's kind of right, and all this nonsense that happens out there. So that's my challenge. Let's go. Let's raise our game, all of us. Home inspection, home inspectors, learn as much as you can. Bring to the table your A game every single time you go out into the field. Brokers, attorneys, agents, let's go. Hire the best home inspectors out there. And I believe that everybody will be raised up, right? Everybody will have more credibility. Everybody will have more business if this happens, right? So, hiring soft home inspectors, you're not doing your clients any justice. You're not doing them any good. Let's go. Just taking a look at this electrical panel box, and we notice that we have a lot of rusting and it's wet at the bottom of the box. So we have water entering this electrical panel box, which obviously is a big hazard. You can see some rusting up here, the circuit breakers as well. And typically what happens is water enters the panel box from the outside where the main service wire enters the meter pan. We're going to go out there now to take a look and see if that's been corrected or what the situation is. However, this is a big issue. When you take a service panel cover off, you want to make sure that it's not wet. You want to make sure there's no rusting, and there's no rusting of the bus bars and also the circuit breakers. And here we have the beginnings of some rusting developing on the circuit breakers, which obviously is a safety hazard. So an electrical contractor should be brought in to assess whether this box can be saved or what type of work needs to be performed to make this safe electrical install. Taking a look at this natural draft water heater, and we can actually feel the exhaust gases coming out of the top of the water heater unit. So this indicates that we have a backdrafting situation where carbon monoxide is actually leaching back into the room air, which obviously is a significant hazard. So I always like to put my hand here just to make sure that we have that backdrafting. And many times this is an issue that we don't find. Because the water heater is running and operating correctly. But once in a while, a great while, we find that this unit is backdrafting, and this is an unsafe condition. We really obviously want those toxic gases to flow out and be directed up and out of the chimney. But here, for some reason, we have the carbon monoxide and toxic gas coming out of the draft hood here, which is unsafe. Have this natural draft boiler right here, and we have the same type of condition where we're getting a backdrafting of toxic gas into the living space. I shouldn't feel coming out of this draft hood right here. So this is something we're going to alert the occupant of the home about, because obviously it's an unsafe condition, and then maybe they can get the utility company to come in to determine if there's an obstruction or blockage somewhere in this chimney, because this chimney here with the water heater and the boiler is not drafting properly. So we're not developing enough lift or draft, our gases are actually coming back into the living space, which obviously is a significant hazard. So something that would be difficult for the average person to find, but home inspectors should keep this in mind. Just looking at this foundation wall, and we notice that we have some termite swarmers on this foundation wall. Of course, they're dead. Termites swarm generally in the spring months and usually after it rains. And frankly, I'm not really sure why they do it after it rains. But here we have some wings as well, and these are dead swarmers. So this indicates that we do have an active termite colony somewhere around or inside the crawl space of this house. And for sure, this home was going to have to be treated for termites because this is an indication of a termite colony close by. So when these guys swarm inside, they just simply die. They're very fragile. They die right away. In nature, if it's outside, they will go out into the environment and then establish another termite colony because these are actually the reproductives of the termite colony. So look for these. Hi guys, I'm in this crawl space, and right down here where the crawl space floor, dirt floor, vapor barrier, gravel, meets the foundation wall, we see this termite mud tube right there coming up from the earth. And that's an indication for sure we have termite colony coming in to forage. Maybe not cause damage yet, but definitely to forage. If we go down here about 4 feet, we see another termite mud tube right here. And sometimes you can even see some, not in this one though, sometimes you can see some live termites in here, but in this case we don't have live termites. But even if we don't have live termites, we know for sure the house that we're inspecting today needs to be treated for termites. So if you see this kind of thing on your interior foundation walls, those are termite mud tubes. As a home inspector, you know what you're kind of getting into as a career choice. So I kind of understand without even seeing this basement what it's going to look like. And so, you know, we have to go in spaces like this. And I don't really mind per se, but I know there's going to be water. I know there's going to be mold. I know there's going to be a lot of problems down here. I know it's going to smell. I don't know if there's rats. But this is what we signed up for. So let's go take a look. The first thing I see when coming down to this basement is that the floor is all wet. So we definitely had flooding and groundwater penetration for sure in this basement because everything is all wet on the floor. Our ceiling joists are very compromised. The ends of about 12 ceiling joists are completely rotted out due to water wicking in through the foundation walls and over the years just rotting out the joists. So this is completely this is what's holding your floor structure up times 12, and that is no bueno. You can see that they're very compromised here. Very compromised here, very compromised there. I can poke right through that with a screwdriver. Look at this one at the end, right there. So we're going to have some major structural issues here. And frankly, this may be more than this gentleman can, fix or maybe be willing to take on the structural issues in this house. This is actually a makeshift support at the front of the home, and you can even see how much water damage we have here. So this is not a properly configured support anyway, or sill plate, but you can see that I'm just poking right through the, like Swiss cheese, what's holding the front of this house up. So look for areas of wood rot when you're trying to buy a home. Always take a look at the basement. Never forego going into even a dark basement to poke around because, you see things like this, and obviously these are major structural concerns. Here we have our main beam supported by a built-up 2x6, which is improper, and then we go down to no footing. Same thing here. You can see the water damage around the base of the column there. No footing, right on the floor of the Here we go. These are actually 2x10s, by the way. We can see this old framing, very thin beam, but we have to have a properly configured support column under the end of this beam at the front of the house for sure. You can see here that these are not properly done with no footings, and this is sort of a makeshift handyman special way to support the front of your house. In this building, we have a structural crack right above this right side second floor window right there. And then we have another stair step crack coming up here, and up through this second floor window here. Then we go up right here. So we have a crack basically the entire vertical length of this right rear corner. So this is differential movement, and what's happening here most likely is that water is laying up against this right rear corner of the home. And as it does that through the years, it's dropping the structure, foundation and footing, causing this structural issue here. So this is differential movement. It is a structural concern. So we're definitely going to have an engineer come out if this client moves forward with his home to evaluate if any stabilization methods are necessary here.